Welcome to the show, first of all.
Well,
welcome
thank you,
back
Rob.
to the show.
It's nice to see you boys this morning.
Bienvenidos.
And so, kind of explain how your business works.
Well, what we do is we recruit folks in the Philippines and put them through a 4-week real estate training program. And I'll be honest, it's not the real estate training program that most agents go through to get their license. Being that I'm a broker, we actually teach them the contract and the addendums and how those work together. They actually can quote line and verse the contract. Then we step into, transaction coordination. And then we go through all the other tools that real estate agents use. DocuSign, zip forms. If they're using it, we will teach it to them.
And so it actually is a substantial savings over going and hiring somebody full-time. You got somebody that's available to you, but they're not physically here, of course.
No, they're virtual. The nice thing is they work our schedule.
So they don't sleep at night then.
No, they work that third shift.
Oh, wow.
Through the middle of the night.
And you said these are all highly educated people, and
they're all college educated, background checked, disc tested, and then they've gone through our 4-week real estate training program. So honestly, I would put most of them up against about any realtors that are practicing today.
Yeah.
And you know what's interesting? I mean, so I can talk about this from a third-party validation. I've known Stacy for a long time, and we've done a lot of business together, and he has had this virtual assistant program set up. And let me tell you, number one, you got Bernadette, so it's,
enough said right there.
Enough said right there. I can't. But it's amazing because he gets her on the phone. It's almost like you're right. It's nothing different than using BombBomb right now or using FaceTime, et cetera, et cetera. But what's really interesting is, number one, how proficient and efficient they are on every aspect of the real estate life cycle. That's number one. They're on top of it. The follow-up, the emails, the phone call, it is extremely easy. The other thing I thought was, which I loved and we spoke about as well, is a lot of times you have agents that they get to that point in which they don't have enough business necessarily to hire a full-time person, but they've got too much business to do it all by themselves. And this is a great way for an individual who needs to take that next step. But sometimes there's a financial commitment of hiring a $4,000 a person, a month person that they can't do. This is something you can do. Get them in, and then grow within that service as well, because there's a lot of services that you can provide in regards to marketing, assistant services, you mentioned contract, follow-up, et cetera. And I'll tell you, in working with Stacy, it works like a charm. You would never guess that it was a virtual assistant.
Yeah, I'll never forget walking to his office one time. He had double screen computer screens up there, and there's Bernadette sitting there, and it's like, wow, this is pretty amazing. And of course, she was there working while, Stacy and I were just,
Rob
talking.
and I were just BSing, and Bernadette does the work, and we all know how that works. But yeah, you're absolutely right. The first person I call every morning is Bernadette. I bring her up on Skype. She spends her entire day on a screen in my office. Mm-hmm. We talk back and forth. She's got her task. I've got mine. Usually she gets frustrated because I ask her, what's my password to get into HAR again? Oh, wait a minute, that's called HAR, Rob.
I almost got you trained.
Nope, it ain't going to happen. For what you're getting, it's really tough to find qualified people in the market today that an agent can afford to be able to grow their business.
Oh, yes.
And we do have a one-off list of tasks that we will do for you one time.
So you have an a la carte menu, basically.
So we basically have an a la carte menu. I really built that for new agents trying to get in the business, because there's that saturation point like you were talking about, where you get to the point where you just physically run out of time in the day. And you still got things that need to be done.
And you have to ask yourself, am I running this business, or is this business running me?
Exactly.
Well, regardless what brand you're with or what flavor you are, the Millionaire Real Estate Agent by Gary Keller talks about one thing. When you start getting busy, the first person to get is not a buyer's agent, is to get an administrator, because you have to recognize and identify what's money generating and what is support, admin. What's admin? Admin you have to do, but it doesn't make you any money. And listen, Nikki's over here listening intently. But that doesn't make any money. Putting brochures together doesn't make any money. Putting things on MLS doesn't make any money, but it has to be done. And this way you can pass off the non-revenue producing task to somebody who's been highly trained, probably better trained than most agents out there.
Absolutely.
Because we know most agents.
Right.
And it takes that off of them, and for a really reasonable price.
Oh gosh,
Yeah.
yes, and it is. I mean, and the thing about this, and when I'm out there speaking to individuals, these are individuals that are also trained specifically in real estate, in Houston real estate, in some of the services that we have here, such as HAR or HAR, if you want to call it that way.
Yes.
That are know that know these systems, know the back office aspect of these. Let me tell you, it's refreshing, as you're growing as an agent, to be able to call, get this service set up. Stacy gets you set up on this, and then immediately you have this assistant that is now assisting you with all you mentioned, Rob, all those tasks that are not making money. I tell everybody all the time, right, is, the only way, same thing with my LO, same thing with the real estate individuals, is you have to be out there, making money, and the way you're going to do that is marketing. You're going to be out there.
You need to be
belly
out there
to belly.
in the path of business, as we
correct.
say.
And if somebody is sort of more of a hands-on, high-touch manager, they can still reach their assigned VA
Oh, absolutely.
by phone call or Skype or however.
I do everything by Skype. I have it on my phone. It's not uncommon for me to, literally be walking out of a property, call Bernadette, get her started on a contract. I'll review it because that's my responsibility as the broker. Mm-hmm. And then, forward it on to my client, and that way they can get it signed. We can talk about it. It's just the easiest way to do real estate.
And the thing
nowadays.
is, if you don't have if you don't have an assistant, you are one.
That's right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Your business is running you at some point.
Sure.
Absolutely, and it does get. But usually around that $4 or $5 million range is where it really gets where you need to seriously look at.
You're giving away all the benefits and all the joy of self-employment, of being your own boss and calling your own shots, making your own schedule. But then when you reach that point where you've lost all of that,
what would you do without Catherine?
What's the point after, might as well just go get a 40-hour-a-week job with time off.
Well, as you mentioned, that grows sometime, if you want to grow a team and that team, and you end up having a team, et cetera, that growth sometimes is prohibited if you don't have the financial ability to go out there and hire people, right? This is a way in which you get to hire people and not have the huge expense that is generally associated with bringing on one or
and
two
the
or
most
three
important
people.
part is,
Yes.
although we're real estate agents,
Right.
we are phenomenal salespeople.
Yep.
Most of us are not really great trainers.
Yes.
And so we take that piece out of the agent's hands. We train them on the agent's CRM and the systems that they're using before they ever go to work for them, so that when they walk in, they know what that agent uses, how they want to do business. We have multiple meetings with them, and then we go from there.
Yeah, you have to do it.
It's incredible.
And when you're in a service business, you have to be staffed at least a half a person ahead, if not a full person ahead, if you want to grow, because you can't be growing. You can't be catching up to your growth.
Yep.
You have to be staffed up in
And
advance.
you can actually tailor it so they can grow.
It's so difficult to
Since you have a la
finance that,
carte. That's
particularly
cool.
if you're new in business and you're going to be, listen, am I going to borrow $3,000 a month to hire somebody? And what if it doesn't work out? And it's very nerve-wracking, and it can lead to paralysis by analysis.
As Stephanie Jackson says here on Facebook, easiest way to do business and grow, by the way.
There you go.
So it absolutely is. I mean, it's one of those things we talk about. If you want to grow, and you got to stay ahead of the business, you got to stay ahead of the curve. You got to hire ahead, and that's what most people have a problem with: is how do you stay ahead of the curve? How do you hire ahead? Just we talk about this all the time. Is it's about being your own business person, and a lot of times that assistance was required for you to continue to grow and build that big business.
Guess what time it is?
It's time for a break, isn't it?
It is time for a break.
So, Stacy, how can we get a hold of you, by the way?
You can reach me 281-733-0885.
One more time.
281-733-0885, or reach out to us through our website at Summit VA Solutions with an S on the end.com.
Summit VA Solutions, plural.com.
You got it.
Perfect. That is Stacy Sutter with Summit VA Solutions.
Don't go away,
by the way.
Stacy, because we're coming back.
Do not go away, but
I
stay
wouldn't miss
tuned.
it.
We'll be right back.